I'm here with Kelly Davis, one of the six being honored here, the opening of the Wall of Fame. Kelly left home at 15 to go play PA Raiders, then went on to play for the Flin Flon Bombers in the Western League, and then had a pro career with the Indianapolis Chuckers. Kelly, first of all, let's just talk about your minor hockey experience here, and a little bit of history when the Davis family showed up in Thompson.
Well, in 1960, my dad came here and hired on with Inco, and he worked for a year up here by himself, and then the family moved in 61 here. And so since 61, and then I think somewhere around 64 or 65 is when we started minor hockey here.
So you come in 61, and roughly what age group were you started in?
Pardon me?
What age group would that have been? Was that Pee-wee or?
Oh, well, 61 I was only 3, but in around 64 when I was 6, it was termite. It's called Kinsman termite.
Okay, so you basically played all your hockey here. I wasn't sure about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you know, we look at the pictures, and it's kind of neat to see some of the old pictures. You experienced a lot of that. I always ask you what it was like, the old CA with as they built the CA, they'd add bleachers. Each year would be a few more stands in here and stuff. Just to experience, talk about your experience with the old CA and the transition to the TRCC now.
Well, the old CA was great. I loved it as a kid. I can remember we used to have lockers here, and there was no heat out there. It was usually 20 below inside, but we had lockers and we put our hockey gear there. So after you practiced and after you played, the lockers were right out by the ice, and all your equipment froze, right? Yeah. So it was all wet and sweating. So then the next game you get in there and you got to get that stuff on and get moving right away because everything was frozen. So it was kind of neat then, but you never had to carry your bag. So nobody got rides to the arena. Like, forget that. You're walking, kid. So you'd pump her down here, which was kind of good that you had a locker though, so you didn't have to pack that gear.
So you get obviously you're on one of those teams. Looking at the team pictures, you had quite the team there. Accomplishments as your age group. I think you had a very good midget team.
Yeah, we had a pretty good team right from I would say Pee-wee. I think most of the guys, really good group, and went up all the way from Pee-wee right through Bantam up to midget. We did well as midget minor team. We won provincials in midget minor. We made it to the semifinals for the provincial midget major, which was, we had a 15-year-old team competing against 15 and 16-year-olds. So that was a pretty good accomplishment, and we won some tournaments along the way too.
So then we go into your junior career. I know PA Raiders at a young age, and then into the Flin Flon Bombers. Just a bit of about how that was playing in Flin Flon.
Well, when I went to bomber camp when I was 15, there was 3 of us actually. There was Glenn Hicks, myself, and Chris Jetty, and we all played midget together as 15-year-olds. And then so we went there, and the opportunity came up to go to PA. So the other 2 guys, yeah, let's go. And I said, okay, let's go. So we come home and go to the school and tell the school, I need my marks and that, I'm going to PA. And I come out of there and I go to talk to the other 2 guys, and they say, well, we're not going. So I'm going by myself now, so I'm a little bit scared. I'm 15, I head to PA, but I was very, very fortunate to have the billet parents that I did have, Mr. and Mrs. Barcelo. They were an old school, old country couple, and man, they were great. And if it wasn't for them, I don't know if I would have made it the year. And then from there into Flin Flon, and Flin Flon was like, what did Anders Hedberg say when he got hired on with the Jets? He said, well, I'm only 500 miles from Flin Flon. Don't know where Winnipeg is, but Flin Flon's 500 miles away.
That is so true.
Yeah.
So then we go into your drafted New York Islanders, 6th round, 101st overall. How does that feel?
Well, I was pretty excited. It's actually kind of funny. I found out in the lunchroom, I think it was on 2200 in HBM&S, the North Main. I was underground working, and my shift boss said, there's a phone call for you. So I went to the lunchroom refuge station there and answered the phone. And he said, "Yeah, you've been drafted." And I said, "Hey, right on, right on." You know, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, it was very exciting.
Then you move on. You play a year in Cincinnati in the WHA. A lot of people don't know that. You know, when I was looking at the stats, and you played with guys like Mike Gartner, I think Messier was on that team as well. Just a bit of how that was, because you're a young guy when you were there playing.
Yeah, well, I was 20 at the time, and they were 19, so they were underages, and I was just out of junior, and yeah, at the time, it's just young kids, right? But Gartner, you could see he was amazing right off the hop, and so was Messier, like both those guys. And also, well, Robbie Fatorik was there, Rick Dudley was there, Mike Liute, who had a great career in Hartford as a goaltender, was also there. I think he went to St. Louis for a little bit. But there was some, Peter Marsh, there were some pretty good guys there, for sure.
Then you move on to Indianapolis Checkers, win 2 championships there. What was that like, winning a championship? Well, 2 years.
Well, yeah, it was great. I mean, the Islanders organization back then, you must remember it was basically the Islanders, and then under the Islanders was the Checkers, and under the Checkers was Fort Wayne. So that was the NHL, the CHL, and then the I, right? Well, in those 4 years that the Islanders won 4 cups, their number 1 farm team, our team, won 2, and our farm team won 3. So out of 12 cups, we won 9. So their organization, top to bottom, was phenomenal. The depth that they had in their organization. And
you do get called up the Stanley Cup playoffs. Just a bit about that experience, because I've talked to you about it, and just explain a bit about that.
Well, you're excited as heck, for sure. Our season had ended. We were knocked out of the playoffs, so they're basically, the Islanders are just starting to roll in the playoffs, and they're looking. They need guys ready to go in case some of their regulars go down. So they called up one defenseman. Also, Richard Brodeur was called up. He went on to play in Vancouver quite a bit, but he was also called up. Kevin Demine and Alex McKendry, where they got 2 forwards, a defenseman, and a goaltender. So we went up there, and that's where they joined the Black Aces, they call them, right? So we practice all the time, and we're told, do not hit anybody. Whatever you do, don't hit anybody. So we're just like, we're there. We're supposed to be ready to go in case we're called upon. But it was, you get to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs firsthand. You're right there when, I was right down in that corner when Bobby Nystrom scored that overtime goal to win the Stanley Cup, and it's, I don't know, it's just sort of like a dream, because you're something you always dreamt of as a kid. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play, but I mean, it was still very exciting.
And one of the things I remember you telling me this was you gave yourself 5 years to make the NHL. Looking back now, probably a great, smart move. You got your career at Valet. You're going to have you'll have your pension, everything at. Tough decision to make at the time, though, and not too many 24-year-olds have enough. What's the words I'm looking for? But to make a decision like that, to leave hockey, looking back, it might have been a very smart decision.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you sort of second guess yourself. Like, could you have stayed longer? Like, as you grow older, you learn more about the game. Like, for instance, the development and stuff like that. Now, for a forward, they develop quite early. They're the quickest, right? So at 20, 21, and everybody knows goaltenders are always late. There's the exceptional few that go right in, step right in, but the goaltenders and then defensemen are somewhere in the middle. Sometimes I don't regret anything. It's a plan that I wanted to do. I didn't want to hang on. I didn't want to be 30 years old, possibly have a family, and have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. So that was one of the decisions. When I was there at 20 years old and in the minors and looking around and seeing things, I've seen guys that were 36 years old with 4 kids, 2 blowing out knees, and they can't do anything else but play hockey, and they're still hanging on, and I just didn't want to get myself in that situation.
So now we look at the wall. You got the pictures up. I know your picture's up in Flim Flon. It's been up there for quite a while in their Wall of Fame. finally we get you up here. What does it mean to you to be up in your hometown?
It's a great honor. Great honor. Yeah, it's Thompson. Well, I grew up here, left when I was 15, came back when I was 28, or 30. No, came back when I was 23, and then for 3 or 4 years, and then left and came back again and made it my home. A lot of people say that there's better places in Thompson. I got to get out of here, get out of here. Well, I'll tell you what, go out and travel the world, and then you'll find out Thompson is a great place to live. It's a great community. There's lots of opportunity here for employment and all different types of careers.
Okay, well tonight you're not playing, Kel. You're going to coach. So, what's the strategy for the game tonight?
I don't know. I don't even know who my players are, but no, it's to have fun, obviously, and see the guys, talk to them, get the stories. There's a big gap there. There's guys coming back here. I just seen Ben Lalashnik, and I haven't seen him in 10, 15 years. So, there's catch up on gossip and families and stuff like that. So it should be fun.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Kel, and good luck in the game.
Okay, thank you.